Okay, good morning, everybody. Today is Saturday. It is August 26th. We lost a legend today. If you were ever a child in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and even the early 2000s, and stayed home sick from school and watched The Price is Right, we lost Bob Barker today. You might notice this guy who has been very, very talkative, or is being very talkative. Hi, Kona. This is my lilac-crusted Amazon bird, Kona. But, yeah, oh yes, who's the pretty bird? I've had Kona for probably 15 years now. His lifespan can be well into the 80s. His age is probably close to 30. Kona, you don't need to climb my hair. Yeah, he likes to preen, and he likes to get himself into a little bit of trouble, don't you? Yes. Hi, Kona. So, anyway, when we start this recipe... Shh. Can you be quiet? Can you be quiet? Yes, you're a good bird. Anyway, you can tell that he's very, very vocal. He can be vocal when he wants. Yeah, what? You know you're on camera, don't you? Are you looking pretty for the camera? What does the camera do? Yeah, hi, Kona. Do you see yourself in the camera? Hi. So he's basically saying hi to you guys. Anyway, we're going to focus on the plum coffee cakes. Hello. I'm going to be putting him back in his cage for a while upstairs. But he was being so vocal today that I figured he wanted to come out. You go let me... No, you're good. Hi, Kona. You want some green beans? You want green beans today? What? Wait, are you looking at the tomatoes? Are you looking at a tomato? Yeah, that's a tomato. It's a tomato. Yeah, that's a tomato. Yeah, you don't usually eat tomatoes, though, because you're not down where tomatoes grow. Anyway, I've got a couple of recipe books. This one is my grandmother's Czechoslovakian cookbook. And it's got the, I believe it's got the dough for the plum coffee cake. If not, I have my other one. You need to be careful back there. So, for this recipe, you're going to need several things. And I'm going to get set up in a little bit here. I'm just going through the Pope recipe book and Italian... dishes. Well, that's not really an Italian, so I'm going to go into the prunes. Pastries. Pies. We're not making a pie plum. Here we go. Okay, it's not in this one. So it's not in this book. It's probably going to be in the Czechoslovakian book. But basically what this is a really, really good coffee cake that we're going to make. And you're going to need flour, yeast, sugar, milk, and plums. And I don't think this recipe takes eggs, but I'll double check that when I come back. And that's what we're going to do today. So, have you had enough outdoor time? Anyway, he wanted to come and say hi to you all. We're going to get into this recipe in a few minutes. I'm going to go set up. I'll be back in a minute, and we are making Italian prune plum coffee cake today on Cooking with Joel. Okay, hi all, welcome to my kitchen. Today is Saturday, it's the 26th of August. I was going to do the plum coffee cake today. You saw a little bit of nonsense at the beginning of the video where I introduced you to Kona. There's been a total change of plans. I'm still going to do the plum coffee cake. I'm just going to move it till tomorrow instead of today because I needed to get some things around the house done. And you might notice that the kitchen is really cramped. Well, the reason the kitchen is so cramped right now, and I've got things drying here, I've got the dishwasher down below running, is I needed to get into the pantry, reorganize the pantry, because I am starting to get the kitchen ready to be remodeled. And when I say remodeled, I am not doing a complete remodel of the kitchen. I just don't have the funds right now to get the kitchen the way I want it. That it's going to be in steps. The first step we need to do in the kitchen is I need to get it prepared to be painted. We're going to paint it and get it nice. My husband's going to work on the floors and get them a little bit better looking than what they currently do. Unfortunately, I have hardwood floors throughout the house. I also have a lot of dogs, and my dog's nails in the wooden floor just don't correspond with each other. So we're going to do that with the floor eventually, paint it, get the kitchen looking nice, and then I'll get my new table. We've decided this thing over here, this whole bookcase or shelving or whatever you want to call it, that's going to disappear. That's going to get moved into the living room for the time being. And then once we've painted and gotten the kitchen more to our liking, we're going to get a built-in pantry that actually has shelving on it that's not open, that has cabinets that I can move some of my appliances over to, and maybe my cookbooks. So that's going to happen probably in the next week or so. Like I said, I am going to do the plum coffee cake. I just pushed it to tomorrow instead of today. As for the kitchen table, all of that's going to get moved, and I'm going to get rid of the kitchen table probably in a couple of weeks, because we'll be getting ready to get rid of those. So I wanted to just show you guys how I reorganized the pantry. I'm going to move you guys back a little bit, and if you guys ever saw the pantry, you saw how loaded it was. So I reorganized everything. My good pots and stock pots are at the bottom. I have oil on this side when I do deep frying. Sorry, that was an This first shelf right here is now all of our storage bags, gallon-sized bags, my grandmother's angel food cake pans. You can see right there is my egg cooker, and then this one is just miscellaneous items that I use for the barbecue grill. My stovetop stuffing and some of my Suddenly salads are back there. This shelf, you can tell, is all of the pasta sauces that I've done for this year, last year, and years previous. I found some sauces that are even older, that go back several years, but they're all now lined up for the season. And then on this shelf, I have basically the rest of the cooking and canned items. I haven't done anything on the very top shelf yet, but that's where you can kind of see right in here. That's where the jams and jellies are going to be kept. And I need to, later on, I'm going to move you guys back. I need to organize that, but it's organized and nothing now sticks out. It's all back, and I can keep my curtains on it and keep it covered. So that was the update for today. You guys are going to be seeing from here on forward, at least for the next 2 months, the kitchen starting to come together, and it's going to be a work in progress. Like I said, I need to get everything out of the kitchen in order to do what we need to do with the ceilings and stuff. And I went back and watched the video that you guys saw Saturday, or yesterday, because I'll post this on Sunday. And I didn't really touch on what we're going to totally do with the kitchen, but I figured the ceiling and the wood trim around the windows are going to stay white. I'm going to clean them, paint them, and make them a snow white color. Now the walls are going to be light blue, and we need to wash and, sorry, I'm doing the ums for some reason today, but we need to do the walls. The walls need to be washed, and any paint that might be peeling, all of that needs to come off so that I can paint the walls the light blue. And I'm going to show you guys the color. This is going to be for the ceiling and the trim, and this is a paint swatch, and it is falling snow. And then this air blue, this very light blue, is going to be our wall color. So that's going to happen. As for the stove, behind the stove, we're going to put a backsplash in. And I think I'm going to see what our local hardware stores have. I'm leaning towards like a blue and white or possibly a blue and black. Now the kitchen set that I bought yesterday is black. It's black with a fairly dark table surface. But I think that'll offset the kitchen. If I make the kitchen bright and airy, that'll go well with our kitchen. I did touch a little bit on the cabinets, and my cabinets need to be washed really badly. They're from the years that they've been smoking and stuff. There are a couple of cabinets that I need to replace the doors on that are just falling apart. This is one of the areas that really needs to be worked on, and I think what I'm going to do, I'm not going to show you because it's too dark in the kitchen right now, but basically the bottom of my sink, so the bottom, I'm going to kind of point it out, I'm not going to show you what's in there, that's actually falling apart on the inside. It's dipping down. So what we may do is we may get a sheet of plywood and cut to fit, take out the bottom half of the cabinet and put new plywood in so it's leveled. But that's going to be a later on potential fixer-upper. I hate this sink, but the sink and the countertops are all going to stay as they currently are. I don't have a way of actually remodeling the whole kitchen the way I want right this second. It's going to have to be in segments because eventually I'm going to have to do other things around the house. The floor was a huge concern, and we had talked about doing different things with the floor. Unfortunately, my kitchen, dining room, and living room all share the same floor. So there's really no way I can separate all three rooms and have three different floors where it would be cost efficient. Down the road, and this is probably going to be several years down the road, I will eventually hire someone and have all new flooring put in on the main level of the house. So, that's the update for the kitchen. Like I said, tomorrow we'll get into the plum coffee cake. You guys are going to start noticing things that are shifted or moved out, and you're going to start to see the kitchen being taped off. These are going to disappear. My husband's going to wash these. We're going to put these up in storage for the time being until the kitchen is fully painted and has dried. And then we'll rehang these draperies. Now the sliding glass door, which I have hated since day one, unfortunately that is a really, really expensive, and that would have to be a professional done. Eventually I would like to get a French door that goes onto the deck. The deck is also going to be a work in progress, and probably sometime next year I'm going to rebuild the deck myself. But that's the next year project. I'm not going to focus on that this year. The kitchen is the first priority. So, some of the cooks that I had mentioned or that you guys saw on Saturday are going to get pushed back a little bit. I am still going to do the goulash and I'm still going to do the Swedish meatballs. My husband's birthday, I have not missed his birthday in the 24 years that we have been together, but this year I'm going to push his birthday back and we're going to do a combination anniversary and birthday in October. I'll, of course, celebrate my husband's birthday with him on his birthday, but it's not going to be the elaborate celebration dinner that I've done. His blood sugars have also been spiking a little bit, so I need to give him a little bit of a break and not make so many sweets for the house. We've actually been having dessert almost nightly, and we might need to cut that back a little bit. So, if you guys are noticing that things are disappearing in my kitchen, it's because we're getting to the point where we're painting. When we do start painting the kitchen, that's going to be about the time that my cooking shows are going to end. And I don't mean ending permanently. They're going to come to a end to where you won't be seeing daily videos. You may be seeing daily kitchen update videos of the progress in the kitchen, because eventually what'll happen as we paint, I won't be able to use the kitchen for X amount of days while the paint dries and the kitchen gets its makeover. So, that was just my exciting news for today. Like I said, tomorrow we will get into the Plum series. I did have to go through a couple of books, and in my Best of Czechoslovakian cookbook, I did find the recipe for the plum cake that is the base layer for the coffee cake. And what you're going to need is you are going to be needing milk, a package of dry yeast. You can use the fresh yeast, which I will be using. You're going to use, depending on the size that you're going to be making, you might use more, you might use just half of a 2-ounce package. And this does make a 9 by 13 inch coffee cake. You're going to need flour, sugar, 4 eggs, sugar, like I said, sugar, a half a stick of butter, or 1 stick of butter, I'm sorry, half a cup of butter, and then 1.5 pounds of the prune plums, half pitted, and then optional. Like I said, tomorrow when we start making this recipe, I'll go through everything with you. It's a relatively simple recipe to actually do. And like I said, it freezes really well. I would show you what my grandmother makes it in, but it's buried right now in this mound of clean dishes that need to be put away. So, that's the update for the kitchen. That's the update for the cooking. I'm going to do the prune plum coffee cake tomorrow. You're going to see it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday probably. I am going to take Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday now off, where I'm not going to do any cooking because I need to focus on cleaning the kitchen, getting everything out of the kitchen, and getting it ready to get the paint off the walls, and we need to patch. There are areas in the kitchen that need to be patched. So we're going to work on that next week. When I come back the following week after Labor Day is when we'll start to do the goulash and the Swedish meatballs, and I'm going to play with it. My goal is to do both in the same week. So those are going to be the upcoming cooking videos. Keep coming with your posts. I love reading them. I saw 2 of you commented on Saturday's post or today's post, since you're seeing this Sunday. So I've seen that yes, I am going to do a kitchen update from here on out. The garden videos, we're coming to the tail end of the gardening season for us. I will keep you posted on that. I'll be doing weekly updates on the garden, especially as we get towards the tail end of the season. This year, I have kind of decided, usually in September, I go out and I get the apples that we need for the apple slices and stuff. This year, I think I'm going to take a break and not do apples this year. Which, as sad as it is, I need to concentrate on the kitchen so that it's ready when the furniture gets delivered in October. And because of my husband's sugar levels, I think this year we need to take a break from doing that. So I'm not going to do anything apple related probably this year. Or if I do, it's going to be on a much, much smaller level. So anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Tune in tomorrow for another Cooking with Joel video. And stay tuned. Throughout the week, I will be giving you short little updates on the kitchen. You may not be getting the Cooking with Joel videos that you're used to for the next few weeks. They're going to be sporadic in there. But I think you guys are going to enjoy seeing how the kitchen is going to turn out. So, tune in tomorrow for the Italian prune plum coffee cake. That's a mouthful. And then stay tuned for the kitchen updates. I'll see you on the next Cooking with Joel video.